Welcome back to the show. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Jason Show TV on TikTok, Blue Sky, Facebook, and my personal account, Jason Matheson. Well, our next guest is originally from a small town here in Minnesota and now has close to 1 billion streams. Billion. He's one of the most listened to comedians of all time. Chad Daniels is known for his jokes about his kids and the wonderful world of parenting. Look at this.
My son is getting married. He's 24. And yeah, sure. Yes. I just think it's funny because when he was 23, he got engaged. And I go, you think you're a little young to get engaged? And he goes, I don't know. You think you're a little old to be a boyfriend?
Well, I mean, there's that. That's a clip from Chad's Netflix special, Empty Nester. Audience, give it up for Chad Daniels. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Nice sweater.
Thank you so much.
I like a good sweater. I like a good sweater.
I like a good sweater too. My buttons down here, they're a little tight.
I think you look good.
So a sweater is there's no screaming.
Fergus Falls, huh?
Yep, born and raised.
Fergus, yeah. Again, for people watching across the country, we're based here in the Twin Cities. Is Minnesota, other than your family, does Minnesota provide ample comedic recipes?
Have you watched the Vikings play football? Yeah. Oh, boo. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Leo, quickly take camera 5. We're the home of the Vikings.
By the way,
I get a nickel every time I say that. Yeah.
I love the Vikings. I'm just saying there's a lot of fun to be had there.
What made you want to do? I was asking Dave Karger. I always like to know why a person does what they do.
Sure.
I watched Johnny Carson. I liked David Letterman. Comedy, always something you wanted to do?
I think so, yeah. I watched my grandpa listen to comedy albums, and he was a tough guy to
Kids
get
don't
laugh.
even know what those are
Yeah,
anymore. Yeah.
They're like bigger CDs. Still don't know. You still don't know.
No.
But I watched him laugh so hard at Bob Newhart that his shoulders would shake.
I was going to predict that you were going to say Newhart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so great, and I thought, man, this really looks intriguing. So when I did my first Comedy Central special, my mom came over to watch it with me, and she brought me that little kindergarten thing that you fill out, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it said comedian on it. I misspelled it, but it did say comedian.
Did you really?
Yeah, and so I've just wanted to do it forever and ever. I used to stay up late and watch. Anytime I knew there was going to be comedy on, whether it was A&E's Evening at the Improv or Carson or Letterman were having somebody on, something like that. I army crawled out to watch Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Come on.
Yeah. Army crawled, and my dad's feet were up in his recliner, and I just sat there as quiet as I could and was like, I didn't know people talked like this. I mean, it was wild.
Yeah.
But it was great.
Delirious, one of the best that will ever be.
Yeah,
one of the
incredible.
best that will ever be. I asked you about Minnesota. I would imagine your family also provides a lot of material for you.
Yes, I have 2 kids. They're 25 and 21 now.
What's that like?
I mean, fantastic now. They're
Yeah.
out doing their own thing. My daughter was just in Costa Rica studying.
Nice.
She was studying abroad. And she got so excited. She was like, oh, Dad, I got this letter. I'm the only one from my school that gets to go to Costa Rica for this program that I signed up for. And she goes, you're not even going to have to pay for tuition because I got such good grades. And I thought, well, I still might have to pay for ransom. Now, I want to be clear, that is not a dig on the Costa Rican people.
No.
That is a dig on my daughter who never prepares for anything.
Yeah.
Because I asked her, I said, have you learned Spanish? And she goes, no. And I said, well, why not? And she said, well, because they speak English there. And I thought, you're going to be a great American traveler.
Yes.
Step off the plane. I'm in your country, learn my language. And so she goes, well, I know some stuff. I know how to ask where the school is and how to say, where's the bus stop? And I said, maybe you should learn the phrase, hey, grab the little blonde one.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, if she gets taken, I do not have a specific set of skills.
To help with that. Right.
Yeah, I can't go
No.
get her like Liam Neeson. So.
No. You mentioned Comedy Central, but I want to talk about a Netflix special. We just showed a clip. What is it like? I don't know why I'm suddenly at a loss for words. I know What is it like, my friend, having a comedy special? Because you just talked about the fact that you and I, we watched comedy specials when we were kids. My friend, you now have one on the carousel on Netflix. How do you take that in?
Well, it's a lot of my friends saying like, "Oh, you're paying for dinner, right?" It's a lot of that. But one thing that was really, really cool for me is, so we talked about Delirious, and then of course you have 48 Hours in Beverly Hills Cop. So I grew up in a time where you could bike to the gas station and you could rent a VHS, and you could just, if it was rated R, you could just go, "No, it's for my dad."
Yeah.
And they'd go, "All right, I don't want to get yelled at by your dad," and they'd give you the VHS. And so I watched Beverly Hills Cop over and over and over, and then when this special came out, Beverly Hills Cop, the reboot, came out the exact same time, and so my special and Beverly Hills Cop were right next to each other on Netflix. And my sixth grade self was just sitting there like, I don't know what to do. That was great.
Yes!
It was unbelievable.
Oh, I think that's great. Please come back, my friend.
Absolutely.
Give it up, everybody, for Chad Daniels.
Thank you so much.
If you're watching us locally, head to Acme Comedy Company this weekend in Minneapolis. If you're watching from across the country, for tour dates, head to ChadDaniels.com. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. I wouldn't drink that. That's old gin.